What's going on? Welcome back to the vlog. It's Friday, and this is the week in the life of a teacher. Well, let me just show you my shirt real quick. This was my day today. It says, y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. And that's the kind of day that I had today. Do you guys remember that show, Recess, that cartoon show that used to play on Saturday morning cartoons? And remember how the kindergartners were depicted in that show as tribal, like wild, crazy, tribal? That's just kind of how I felt today. And let's talk about the week. So this week was a roller coaster week. In this same week, I had the best day of the entire school year, and I had the worst day of the entire school year. I had a lot of fun. I laughed. I did not cry. I yelled so loud I could feel the vein popping out the side of my neck at one point. It was for show. It was not for serious. I was being silly. It was for a thing. Anyway. This week has been an incredible roller coaster of the ups and downs of teaching, and it started out on Monday, and you know, Monday just didn't go as I wanted it to. Oh my gosh, Mondays. Just so much to talk about today, what happened today. So, Mondays, you know, for me, Mondays are usually one of my favorite days because I'm well rested from the weekend, but today didn't start off very well. I mean, you could argue today kind of started off in a hot mess. Well, to start it off, on Mondays, I have a meeting every Monday, our TBT, our teacher-based teams, where the other kindergarten teachers and I and the principal and the building coach, we all meet and we talk about what we're doing in the class, what cycle we're on. Right now we are working on identifying letters and numbers. And so we're talking about strategies and skills that we use, and we're tracking data. It's a once-a-week meeting. So I'm not with my students for the first like 15 minutes of the day. Somebody else comes, the PE teacher comes and monitors them during breakfast. So the thing that kind of sucks about that is I'm not the first person that they see in the morning. Anyway, it's usually fine. But I get back from my meeting, and my special friend, my student who is my biggest challenge this year, is how I'll say it. He wasn't here. He was in the room. But apparently something had happened, and anyway, he wasn't here. He had gotten upset and threw all of his food everywhere. They had applesauce and milk, threw it everywhere. So the class was kind of a mess. The janitor had to come down and clean it all up. The other kids were doing just fine, so we kind of just rolled with it. Then when it was time for computer lab, none of the computers worked. Not one computer worked today. Not one. So we just came back to the classroom and did something else, which leads me to my tip of the day that I'll leave you with. So the tip for today is have plan Bs. Not plan B, not have a plan B, have plan Bs. Have activities that you can go to all the time if you ever are in a pinch, if you ever need a little bit of extra, if your lesson is too short, or if it's too long, or if the computers don't work, or if the PE teacher or the music teacher or the art teacher misses a day and you don't have a prep. Always have multiple activities that you can do in your pocket. You can just pull out whenever you need to for any situation. It'll make everything so much more smooth. So when we couldn't do the computer lab, we came back to the classroom. I had them get out their journals and we wrote in our journals, and then I did a read aloud. I only had to fill 30 minutes, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but it just didn't start off that well today. And you know, as a teacher, when things don't go like you plan them, it can be very discouraging, and it can be really hard to kind of get out of, if you get in a funk or a rut, it's hard to get out of that. So just kind of have to roll with the punches. And it was almost comical how things like nothing was going right. It was almost just like, all right, well, I guess we'll do something else. But you know, the kids did really well with it. They're really flexible. So I gave them all a sticker, and I thanked them for being flexible. And yeah, so I mean, when you can thank your kids for little things like that, I feel like it does go a long way. Hey guys, the computers didn't work. I'm really sorry they weren't working. I really appreciate how nobody got upset and we all came back to the classroom and you did something else. Here's a sticker, thank you. And I think that goes, hearing thank you from an adult to a kid, when they hear that, I think it holds a lot of weight. So yeah, it went okay. I'm also trying to get a lot better with my water intake during the day. I try to fill up this little Avengers cup 3 or 4 times, but I have to be strategic about when I drink my water, because I have to be able to, because the other day on Friday, I had to go to the bathroom really, really bad, and it was during the middle of class, so I snuck in the classroom bathroom real quick and went. I had no other choice. And then I like got a bunch of paper towels out of the bathroom and made it look like I was like getting stuff out of there so the kids didn't know I was going. Anyway, water. Drink as much water as you can throughout the day. It's crazy how beneficial being hydrated is versus not being hydrated. But then it was a quick turnaround, and I had a really good day, a couple really good days in the middle there, and I started my small group instruction. I started guided reading and guided math, and boy, I am excited. And I'll delve more into it as I get set up with it more, because I want to give you the finished product. I talked a little bit about the setup process though, so I'll give you a little bit of insight on how I think about it. It is time. If there's one thing you need to know about me as a teacher, it's small group instructions. It's my thing. Teaching, I teach in small groups, and I get to a point in the school year where I almost exclusively teach in small groups, and I love it. When you can get a really good small group instruction routine going, I'm telling you right now, in my opinion, there's no better way to teach. There's no better way to move students, move that needle on student learning than when you can teach in small groups. I've spent it's Wednesday, I spent Monday, Tuesday, and today getting them ready for small groups. Tomorrow's trial run. It's gonna be awesome. I'm just gonna explain a little bit about what I'm doing, how I'm setting it up, and how I'm setting them up for success. But one thing I have to show you that I am over the moon excited about, just let me show you. You gotta get yourself ready. Are you sitting down? Okay. Here we go. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Here we go, iPads. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 iPads. So Monday, we had our meeting. It was our regular TBT morning meeting, and at the very end of it, the building coach goes, "Oh yeah, and by the way, I got 12 iPads for you guys, 4 each." And I about lost my mind, because when I do small groups, having iPads is incredible. I've got 4 right here, and I have my own personal iPad that I brought in, and then I have one that was like the teacher's iPad. So I have 6 total iPads. Hang on, let me sit down. This is important. Okay, I've got 6 total iPads. So, why that's important is because now, when I do my small group instruction, I can have a group with me. I got 4 teams, 4 groups, 4 tables. I can have a group with me here at my kidney bean table. I can have one team on the computers. I can have one team on the tablets, on the iPads, and I can have one team doing their mission boxes. That's 4 rotations. What's nice about that is then I don't have to do a traditional center at the table when the whole team is together talking, making noise. So the entire time there's going to be kids on computers with headphones, on tablets spread out with headphones, and they're going to take their mission box with them spread out, so it's going to be nice and quiet. Or in theory, it'll be nice and quiet. So I realize that you might not be sure exactly what I'm saying right now, but when I teach small groups, the idea is that there's 4 rotations. You know, it might be better if I do this. I'm gonna go ahead and write it out. Let me see. Here we go. Here we go. All right, teacher time, teacher mode. All right, make sure you can see. All right, here we go. All right, we got 4 groups, right? There's my group, so me, okay? And when they're not with me, they're at one of 3 other places. They can be at their mission box. They can be on a computer or iPads. And we rotate. I always start with one team with me. So the green team usually starts with me. When they're done with me, I send them to their work box. They take their mission box out of their cubbyhole and they go choose someplace. Flexible seating, buzzwords. They're gonna go choose a place to do their work. What's in the mission box, Mr. Thain? Well, what's in the mission box is differentiated work that's just for that child. So it's something that they need to work on personally. How do you decide what they get, Mr. Thain? Well, based on my data that I collect, based on my small group instruction, I do that every day. I update what's in their box. It's what they need. They can work on independently. It's different for every kid. Well, tomorrow, the first day we do it, it's the same thing for everybody, just so they can get used to it. Okay, then so let's just say the green group's with me. Let's say the blue group starts at their mission box. Yellow will start at computers, and red will be on iPad. what we'll do is we'll switch, we'll flip, we'll do a rotation. We'll do 4, we're gonna go 10 minutes tomorrow. 4 10-minute rotations. I'll see all the teams. And what we're doing at our tables is different based on the group. With my green team, they know all their letters already. We're gonna start writing words, CVC words on the whiteboard. And the other groups, they still need to work on their letters, so we're gonna do letter instruction, direct instruction with the letter cards, and we're gonna watch a letter video, we're gonna record, we're gonna trace the letters, got a whole thing ready to go. And that's my learning, that's my teaching now. I've got guided reading written ready to go tomorrow, and then Friday I'm gonna try rolling out guided math. Same routine. The mission boxes will not have, they will not have literacy stuff in it. It'll have math stuff in it. What are they doing on the computers? Okay, so computers can be tricky. When you have access to the entire internet, computers can be a difficult thing to manage. We have one website we go on the computers. One, not 2, not 3, 1. It's called Raz Kids, and it's part of the Reading A to Z program. Raz Kids costs $100. You get 32 licenses. You can have 32 kids on your class. It is a program where students are able to read books at their level. It goes A through Z, guided reading levels, and they all start out, you can put a kid at any level. You start them out wherever, but all my kids start at pre-reading. What you do is they click on the book and they can hear it. And then they can read it on their own. They can click on a word they don't know, it'll read it to them. And then every book has a quiz accompanying the book. Then they collect stars, they get stars for reading it, they can spend their stars on their little spaceship thing, and they can buy stuff for it. And what's awesome is it actually gives me data, it spits out data that I can go check. How are they doing on retelling questions? How are they doing on main idea questions? And I can use that data to inform my instructions. See, I'm just throwing all kinds of buzzwords at you today. Anyway, we only do Raz Kids in the classroom. It's very simple. I have it bookmarked on all of their accounts when they go in to log into their district account. They just go, the bookmark's already there, they click on it, they log in, it's easy. What are you doing on the iPads, Mr. Thain? Well, let me tell you. Okay. Totally not a paid endorsement, but I would love to work with these guys one day. The app is called Schoolbo Common Core, and it basically is an app for tablets, and here's what it is. Basically, the students get to create their, it's blurry, help. The students get to create their own avatar, and they are racing against other students from across the country, across the world actually, or they're racing against the computer. And what it does is it asks them basic literacy and numeracy skills questions, multiple choice questions, and they're in a race. And every time they get a right answer, they go a little faster. And if they get 3 wrong answers, you lose the race. You also earn stars and coins, and you can spend them on your room and stuff like that, but it's data driven. And what happens is, it tracks you based on your answers. So if you know all your letters, it's obviously gonna bump you up to reading words. It's gonna bump you up or down based on how you perform. And it also is another good data point for me because I can go online, check their data, I can see what kind of questions they're getting right, what kinds of questions they're getting wrong, and it's fun. And the races are about 1 minute in length, so it keeps their attention, and they like doing it. And I've been using this app actually my entire career. They've been around for my 6-year career, and they've made innovations on it, and I love it. And it's called Schoolbo Common Core. Just go ahead on Google and type in Schoolbo, S-K-O-O-L-B-O. You'll find it. It's free for teachers. You can go ahead and download it for free and set up your class. It's real simple. Whew. I'm really excited to start my small groups. If you have any questions about it, let me know. But the real idea is that I think, in my opinion, small group instruction is the most effective way to teach anything. And so I do the bulk of my teaching in small group, which is awesome. But the hard part about it is getting everybody else to do something quietly while I can teach my small group. That's what I'm working on this week, and that's what I'm gonna be working on next week as well. It's really hard, but if you can get it down and you can get your kids on board, you can make amazing growth with your kids throughout the school year. So I got a couple new additions to my classroom for this week, and one of them had me pretty excited with the basketball hoop. That's pretty exciting. A development in the classroom is the basketball hoop. We played a math game with it today where we rolled the dice, and then you had to stand on the number that you rolled, identify the number that you rolled, and then if you shot it from that number and made it, you got that many points. One of my kids, he made a 6-pointer back here, and now I'm gonna start calling him Downtown Daniel because he hit it from downtown. Oh, you should have seen the look on his face when he made it, and the other kids cheered him on. It was awesome. But, you know, let's have a basketball and hoop in here just for whenever we feel like throwing down a little bit. But anyways, this is the crown jewel of the room right now. Everybody's loving it. So how I use the basketball hoop? Well, it's pretty simple. At the end of the day, I randomly select 4 or 5 completed papers that the kids did, and if they were done complete with their name on it and it was done the right way, I pick it at random. I let that child shoot the basketball, and what they do is, if they make the shot, I have them shoot it from, the basketball hoop's over there right now, that's where I store it, but I set it up like right here. And if they shoot it from close, they get 1 point. If they shoot it from mid-range, they get 2, and they can choose where they shoot it from. And if they shoot it from downtown, way down here, they get 3 points. And the points go and they add up to their team table points. Ba-boom. We're doing table points for good behavior and academic, like doing things academically. And the students are pretty much on board with it right now. I haven't decided on any prizes yet. It was kind of like a trial run this week. A couple days, we did it on Thursday and Friday were the days that I did my small groups. I didn't really have any, it was mostly just getting the sequence down of how to rotate, what to do, how to be on the tablets, how to be on the computers, that sort of thing. But the whole theme of next week going into it is gonna be rolling out my small group instruction and really diving deep into it. So I'm really excited about that. So that's the sunshiny part of the week. I was really excited. I remember waking up Thursday morning going, all right, time for small group instruction. That's like my bread and butter, like that's my thing. But I will say, understatement of the year coming at you right now from Kyle Thain on September 29th, 2017. Teaching is hard. You know, if you're going into teaching, or if you're in college going into teaching, or if you're your student teaching, or whatever, you almost never, you know, I don't want to say this, be careful what you see on the internet, on Instagram, on Pinterest, on Teachers Pay Teachers, on YouTube, whatever, because people tend to share the best parts of their life. On Facebook, on Instagram, people usually have a filter that they use and they present to you the good things. That's fine. I usually present the good things as well. People want to see good stuff in the world, obviously. But you gotta understand that teaching isn't always sunshine and rainbows and puppy dogs. Teaching is hard, and some days you will think, why am I doing this to myself? Why do I go in every day and put up with disrespectful behavior, defiance? Why do I put up with kids getting angry and flipping chairs and this and that? Why do I put myself through this? Why am I doing this? And then other days, you'll go, oh my gosh, I have the best job in the world. This is amazing. My kids were great today. I love teaching. I love life. Everything is great. And you can have those same days in the same week. It's crazy. Like, you have to be a little bit weird, a little bit insane to be a teacher. You really just do, especially kindergarten and the early grades, when kids just, some of them aren't developmentally ready for school, but yet they're here because they've aged in. So that's a whole nother problem for a whole nother video about kids starting kindergarten before they're too early, before they are old enough. I mean, that's another, anyway. I always try to keep it as real as possible with you, and there are times that I wonder, you know, I love my job, I love teaching, but I don't know if this is gonna be for me long term. I don't know. You know, I just don't know. With Kristen and I's baby on the way, I'm so excited to be a new dad. You know, my mind is shifting. You know, for the last 6 years, my kids were my students, and they still will be. But now that we're having a baby, my whole world's gonna change, and just, I don't know. I mean, I'm still liking teaching, but I'm talking like 10 years down the road. I don't know if this is what I'm still gonna be doing or not. I just don't know. Teaching isn't for everybody, and that's okay. But if you are called to teach, you will know you can shout it from the rooftops with me. It's hard, and there's a lot to it that they don't teach you in college, which is why which is why it's so great what's going on social media, on YouTube especially, with all the teacher YouTubers out there that you can find to give advice and tips, and many of whom keep it real with you. Will tell you when they're sad, when they're mad, when things are going good, and when things are going not so well. And you know, it's yeah. And you see my room looks like a war zone. Looks like a tornado tore through here. This is how classrooms look real life, you know? I try to pride myself in keeping a tight ship, but it just, man, I don't know what goes on. It's like, where does all this stuff come from that makes the class like, where are all your crayons? Like, I put a brand new box of crayons in here yesterday, and it's about half gone. Where do they go? Are you eating them? Where are they at? But sometimes you just need to rant and blow off some steam, and so I highly recommend sometime on the weekend getting together with some teacher friends and ranting and raving and letting it loose, cutting it all out, and realizing that you're not alone in the wildness that is teaching. And I implore you to go and watch the annoying things students do videos that I have on my channel with me and my friend Nick, Mr. Peck and Paul. Every week we go and do a video. We put it on Thursday nights. It's called Annoying Things Students Do, or Teachers' Problems, and we just kind of talk about the funny, annoying things that happen to us as teachers. We rant and rave, and it's a good place to vent, especially in the comments. It's fun. It's our time to have fun and talk about teaching in a fun way. Talk about like the not so great things about this profession. Next week, since I'm going to be diving real deep into small group instruction, full-on guided reading, guided math, I'm going to do my best to sort of take you into what I'm doing, take you into my mind, and kind of let you know what's going on with how I'm doing guided reading, why I'm doing it, the ins and the outs, because I know for a lot of people it's very it's intimidating, small group instruction or guided reading, and I will try to unpack it for you the best I can, and I just kind of just do a little bit, maybe an updated classroom tour. What does the classroom look like in October versus when I set it up? How am I using the different parts of my classroom? Things like that. So you can be looking out for that video next week. And yeah, I mean, gosh guys, like, this is why this is so important for me to do these Week in Life at Teacher videos, because I can go back and look on them and see, wait a minute, why did I have a good week? Why did I have a bad week? It's all about reflecting as teachers, reflecting on what you're doing, and it's like it's a give and take. It's half and half. It's what are you doing as a teacher that you can do better, and then some of it falls on the students too, right? Like sometimes students are just being bozos, and you got to figure out why they're being bozos. And you gotta figure out how to make them not be bozos. Maybe that's positive reinforcement, maybe that's negative reinforcement, whatever you gotta do. It's the craziness that is the school year. I'm here for you if you need me. Be there for each other. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Find your gift, share it with the world, and remember, you are worth it. See you tomorrow.